Hello everyone, this is Worth, and if you're a regular, quote-unquote, watcher of my Roy combo videos, I was feeling a little bored today, and I decided I wanted to try to put together a Roy matchup chart for YouTube. I made a few for like personal discords, but this is one I'm actually going to post to my main channel just because I feel like it. And yeah, my credentials for this are that I'm a master Roy as of last season. By beating my head against the wall. I would not say I'm very good at the game overall, but I've just played so much that I've at least got some opinions on Roy's matchups at this point, from just ranked grinding and whatnot. So I thought people might enjoy this for what it is. So this is our chart here. This is a 2080 is like, oh fuck, I don't want to play this matchup, all the way down to 6040, which is like, oh, this is actually a pretty good matchup for Roy. Not too many of those, and you'll mostly see that this is more of a top-heavy list because Roy is not a good character at the end of the day. But he's serviceable. He's good enough to get by with and get some wins, but you're definitely going to hit a wall. Something important before we begin is to emphasize that this matchup chart assumes both players kind of know what they're doing. You're not always going to get somebody who plays Roy constantly, and so a lot of matchup unfamiliarity is going to carry you a lot as you're playing Roy. But this matchup chart will assume that both players have a good idea of how the matchup should be played. We'll start with the easiest one. We'll just put Roy at 50-50. I guess I'll talk about the Roy Ditto. It's not my favorite matchup in the game. The neutral is very passive. You do engage, but a lot of times you're just getting in a position where you're trying to crouch cancel the other Roy and retaliate to their down tilt with a down tilt of your own, and then you get your punish game going. The punish game is a lot of fun. It's actually a pretty fun Ditto in terms of just playing to have a good time, because Roy's combos work very well against himself. But the edge guarding is damn near impossible. If the other Roy has his jump in an offstage situation, he's going to get ledge, and you just basically have to give it to him and then try to cover his option trying to come back on stage. He does not have an invincible ledge dash or anything like that, so a lot of times just keeping him cornered as the winning Roy is the right way to go, and trying to stuff him trying to come through you, or catching him in a position where he's trying to dash through you or take to the plats. Yeah, not my favorite matchup, but it's perfectly fair on both sides because you both have the exact same tools. So Roy Ditto's fine. Let's see. How do I want to do this now that we've gotten the easiest thing out of the way? I guess I could just go one character at a time, but it's probably more fun to just kind of pick and choose. Let's go with one that is an obviously bad matchup. Peach. Peach is very bad. Peach is bad because turnips are one of the best projectiles in the game. Some people don't know that Roy has a anti-air projectile property on his side B1. So if you side B a lot of small projectiles, it doesn't work on Falco lasers. But even stuff like needles, turnips, Samus missiles, etc., you can stop that, and you can basically just clank with it, do a side B1, and then you can keep stage position and then basically take stage against your opponent. But Peach's turnips are annoying because they will basically just kind of float up in the air, and they're still a threat. They can still come down and bonk you. She can do them at pretty good ranges against you, to where if you try to come in on her afterwards, she can jump back away from you and set up for a float cancel fair, which you don't have a really great answer for. If she stays grounded, that's really where it's just going to suck really bad, because she has this annoying rock, paper, scissors of I'm going to down smash, I'm going to spot dodge down smash, I'm going to nair you, or basically anything. She hits like an absolute truck, and you are not a good weight for her from your perspective. Everything she hits you with is going to basically put you into an offstage position. She doesn't edge guard you incredibly well, which is nice, but the just neutral to punish game ratio is very bad, because your most reliable thing you have in the matchup is grab. She can obviously CC your down tilt, which is your go-to move against everyone. But if you grab her and throw her, she can air dodge out. She can come down and nair you just instantly. She can just wiggle out nair. You're not going to get a lot off of your grab other than positioning, and so you have to do that a lot. And the punish differential between the two of you just becomes so apparent the more you're just grabbing for just percents at a time, and Peach is just absolutely crushing you off of every single trade. So pretty bad matchup. I don't think it's the worst. It's of this a 2080 tier, it's probably the least bad. But it's a bad matchup. Very bad. Doc. Let's just do Doc next. Doc's bad. Doc has a chain grab against you. It's a really bad chain grab if you're on a flat stage where you cannot get to a platform to protect yourself, so I don't like that. His pill game does get mitigated a little bit by your side B1, but he can still do them in a way to where he can like throw it at a pretty good range, come in on top of you and like do either if he wants to fair, if he wants to down air to break up your CC, if he wants to just kind of wave dash in down smash, that's very difficult to deal with. His spot dodge game against you is extremely annoying. This is kind of like a pulling teeth matchup. He edge guards you decently well too. The cape is a huge problem. Usually Roy is going to get back a lot. People don't know how to edge guard him, and his up B is actually a very good recovery tool. So a lot of the times you'll be able to get back, but Doc is a tough one because if he grabs ledge, he can drop bury you. If he stays on stage, he can cape you. Even if he doesn't want to do that, he can just hold stage against you, and you're not going to get past him very well. He doesn't have a lot of range, but you don't have a lot of range either, so you're having to try to shark him when he's in the air. His double jump basically makes it to where he's always going to get out at least with one shark attempt, so you'll have to bait, like, oh, I'm going for this jump. You double jump now, I'm going to go and intercept. You do have a pretty good game once you can do that, but he can always just panic up B away from you and really make your life miserable trying to punish him. Yeah, Doc's bad. What else about this matchup sucks? I mean, like, you do have the tech chase, but he a lot of the times will be able to double jump away from your tech chase attempts. But you control the neutral game decently well against him. Him trying to get in on you if you're controlling space well, doing good wave dash backs on his approach. He can have a difficult time getting in on you, and it's not like the worst. It's not the end of the world to see a duck, but it can be just very annoying. A lot of the more, I guess what we would say brain dead play is very good against Roy. Spot dodge, holding CC and crouching and down smash is going to hurt you every time it happens. You really can't afford to take more than 1 or 2 down smashes to stock. Yeah, the pills are not the end of the world, but they still have utility against you, and like trying to get in on him while he's doing that can be annoying. But yeah, Doc's okay. Let's go to someone else. Ice Climbers. This is a weird one. I don't think this matchup is as bad as it seems, but it is bad. They can chain grab you with a single climber in a way that's like almost worse than like if they were trying to do some tricky, handoff setups. When they're together, they're obviously more powerful. Popo will have a hard time kind of getting in on Roy. I mean, he can basically like vary up his wave dash links to go like wave dash small, wave dash large, come in when you whiff, and then down smash you, which can be bad. Together, they can set up the Blizzard wall. The Blizzard is a very good tool against Roy because he'll like basically fall to the ground very quickly if you're not SDIing up, and they will grab you. And if they grab you, you are dead. You should be dead, more or less. Even if they don't have you into the corner where they can set up their handoffs for a guaranteed kill, they can do like some annoying mix-ups off of like the down throw, down air, re-grab if you're not ready for that. If they throw you up, they're going to take a lot of damage from them just poking with up airs if you're trying to go to the platforms against them. The down tilt does seem very annoying for the Ice Climbers though. So like getting past that is very irritating because they can't wave dash in on it very well. So you can control the ground to ground game pretty decently. And they're not really going to be like a platform fighter against you. They're going to try to play the same game you are, which makes the neutral feel a little better overall. But the punish game is just the real issue. The ice blocks, if they desync them in a way where you can't side B, that can be annoying. But you do have a lot of good combos once you actually get them into a pop-up situation. You can do down tilt nair to get to the side platforms for like maybe an F smash. You edge guard their Squall Hammer very well with your neutral B, just like short full flare blade when they're recovering, and then you can set up for an additional hit when they're coming down. The belay is also not that big of a deal. A lot of the times you do get some really nice setups off of Nana when she's alone, just side being her to death. But a lot of times what's annoying is you don't have like a shine, so you can't just instantly gimp her really. A lot of your moves are committal, and that gives the Popo the time to come in and intercept you, which can be really bad. But I'm kind of torn here because the neutral game against them is not that bad. But the punish game they get off of like just grabbing you once is probably what's going to push this up. It's a bad matchup, but it's better than you would think it would be. When I see Ice Climbers, I'm usually not too concerned. And then luckily, like I said, with a lot of these matchups, you're just going to run into unfamiliarity. They're not going to know what to do. They're not going to know to CC the down tilt and then come in and grab you. So they're going to try to move in against you, and that's where you're really going to get a lot of your punish game going. Let's go with Falcon. Falcon is one of your better high tier matchups, but it's still bad. Your side B1 stuffs his jump incredibly well. If he tries to jump against you when you're just side Bing him, he's going to get stuffed back down to the ground, and he's going to have to try to fight at a shield, which he's not that great at. You control the ground game pretty well against him, but he can use his speed because he's so freaking fast that he's just going to like dash away. If you try to move in on that, he can Lord Stomp you. He can just take Spage and Space's Nair against you, which like is difficult to CC down tilt. Just random jump in, stomp, or knee are both also like after he's set up like a more passive game, he can then just suddenly break that and approach you. And if he stomps you, you're going to die. If he grabs you, you're going to get up aired. The up air into up air connection is pretty easy and it's difficult to do anything about. And that will just escort you off stage where you'll probably be too far away to really recover against him. You can tech chase him very well though. That's something good about the matchup. The down tilt on tech if he techs in place is good. You're going to get a good punish there. Something about this matchup people might not think is an issue, but it is his survivability. Roy's sorry, some water. One of his most reliable kills is down smashing you at like 120%. That's usually what you're looking for against a lot of characters that are surviving well against you. And Falcon is the exception to this rule. He lives way too long, and if he continues like to basically tank for survival hits, he'll go up into the corner, get to side B again, and then you get to repeat the edge guard process all over again. If he goes low, he can tech you. You got to be very patient and like willing to do some technically difficult things in order to keep him from grabbing you when he's doing his up B. But just generally, like Falcon has a lot of things Roy likes to see. He likes fast followers because it means he actually can use his combo game. He doesn't do he does well against you in neutral, but it's not hopeless. Like you're pretty strong against him. If it wasn't for the up air, I'd actually be willing to put this down in 45-55. But I think his ability to just play patiently against you and survive for so long, when he does get his opening, you're going to die. When you get your opening, it's going to take a long time, and so it's not always fun against a Falcon that knows what he's doing. But it's still fine because you can punish. You can use your really bad punish game in a way that's actually somewhat threatening. If you get a good read on DI out with your F smash, he's going to die, which is nice. And you can edge guard him. It's just difficult. So overall, I'd say about Falcon, probably the bottom of 40-60. Bad matchup, but it's not a terrible matchup. Let's go with a low tier or something. Young Link. I think this matchup is good for Roy. Young Link does not deal super well with scrapping crouch cancel games. Like Roy is able to basically, if he tries to scrap with you, is able to CC down tilt, get some good side B strings when he tries to jump away. His punish game against him is pretty strong. He's got a good weight for Roy to actually punish. The problem becomes when the Young Link is willing to just play the runaway platform game. It can be annoying to try to go and shark him because he's going to move a little bit faster than you. His double jump's a little bit better than yours because he gets more vertical height. And if he pulls a bomb, the bomb is like another projectile where like the side B does not do great against because it'll explode and that you will often be caught in that blast radius. But the game where you're able to actually go, you can shark him. It's difficult, but you can go do it. And like if he's without his double jump, he's in trouble. So that's really good news. He's a lot of times gonna have to like spam air dodge, or he's gonna do a bad like Hail Mary down air, which you can intercept or punish or counter, whatever you really want. And you can take space against him fairly well. The boomerang you can deal with pretty efficiently. The bombs are trickier. And then once he's inside of you, that's when you're actually going to have a decent game because you can CC a lot of his hits. He can like do his down smash or like dash attack against you, but a lot of those are committal. And you can use your speed because you remember your neutral game is pretty much Marth in terms of dash back and grab. And once you actually do get your grab, you're going to hit him pretty hard. So Young Link's not that bad. I would put it slightly Roy favored. Let's grab Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is a bad matchup. It's probably worse than Ice Climbers. Donkey Kong's survivability is a real issue. He's going to live a really long time against you if he continually sweet spots his up B against you. You can try to down tilt it to check it and then dash back to be safe, but he's going to live a really long time. And the problem with this matchup is that all he needs is one grab and you are dead. You are so close to Fox's weight. All the combos that Donkey Kong wants to post online and pop off over, they're going to work on you. The up air strings are really bad. He's not great facing you. Like if he's in shield, like holding his position, you know, eye to eye with you, you're actually pretty decent. You can space yourself outside of his grab range. You can bait the grab quite a lot with like dash back, pivot F smash if he tries to get greedy with it, because the reward is so high, they're more likely to go for it. If he's spacing away from you with back air, you need to try to push yourself into his space. But it's a lot of the times easier said than done because he's just so strong at walling against you trying to get in on him. And then he can also use his down air as like a Falcon-esque. It's a lot slower and a lot worse, but it's a good way to check your crouch cancel against him. And like I said, once he does grab you, you're going to die. Even if you don't outright die from it, his edge guarding game against you is very good with like drop downs B, which is annoying. Yeah, the cargo game is the real problem. It's like worse than a chain grab because it's just so brain dead easy. Sorry, Donkey Kong players, but like you can just up air Roy to death and then get to a fair or a giant punch. If he has the giant punch, you're like super dead. So that's a real big problem. The neutral game is not easy because he can just continually face you, CC, dash in, and grab if you do something unsafe on him. So you have to space yourself outside of that range, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And yeah, his reward compared to what you're gonna get, very often Donkey Kong's like live at 200%, and you're boned. Like you're not gonna win a game where you have to do 200% to someone and they have to do 75 to you per stock, and that's usually what it's gonna come down to unless you can get some really nice reads. All right, let's go to somebody else. Let's do Bowser. Bowser is a trickier matchup than you would think it would be. Bowser bad is the meme, but Bowser actually has some stuff against you. He can hold shields, up B out if you try to do anything unsafe on him. And on his shield, he's going to up B you and it's going to hit you pretty hard. He's got a very good ledge game against you. If he's in a position where he can edge guard you, he does actually a better job than a lot of other characters with like take ledge with Whirling Fortress, rising back air will cover you because it'll be like invincible when he rises, and you're just going to get die if you get hit from that. He can also space his F tilt in like a neutral position or even in an edge guard position, and it's fairly safe against you, and it's going to do a lot of knockback. His fair is like a pretty decent way to come down on you when you're trying to CC him because it's very monstrous in its range. It'll actually push you out of like down tilt range in a lot of positions. So it's not a great position there. But the good news about this matchup is your side B is broken. You can side B pretty safely against him just once. Watch for his option out of that, then punish it. You can grab him, and that's like really good against Bowser. His tech rolls are terrible. So you can a lot of the times position yourself where you're going to go for a forward throw, down tilt in place, turn around, down tilt the roll in, and it will cover both of those because his tech roll is so incredibly slow. You can edge guard him decently though with your flare blade if he's coming high, and then just continually knock him off. He does have good horizontal survivability, so a lot of the times your F smash won't kill, but eventually he's going to get just out neutraled into a position where your down smash will kill, and that's a good spot for you to be in. He just doesn't have a great approach against you. A lot of times they'll go to platforms, try to falling aerial, and in those positions you can simply dash back, come in, grab because he's very slow there. The big thing to respect is the up B because it's going to, if you misspace anything on his shield, it's going to pop you up and it's going to hurt a lot. You need to play this matchup very patiently and just wait and wait and wait and continually win small neutral interactions till you finally either have the read that you're very confident in, or you've just continually put him to such a high percent that stuff like down smash is going to start killing him. But yeah, if they play like, and if you go to Yoshi's, it's even worse. Like it probably moves up to like 50-50 there. But like Roy's still strong on Yoshi, so it's not so bad. But like he gets a lot more access to platform maneuverability, which can be a real problem. But it's still Bowser at the end of the day. Like God bless him, he's just not that great of a character. All right, let's go to someone more meta relevant. Let's do Fox. Fox is a tough matchup, but the good news is if the Fox doesn't know how to play the matchup, you get a lot of access to some really cheesy stuff. You can do down tilt F smash with like Bermuda Triangle DI and they will just die. You do a decent job of edge guarding him. It's not as good as Marth by a country mile, but you can still do stuff like jab the illusion, grow to ledge, side B invincibly, go back to stage. You can set up for a counter from there, which will very often kill the Fox just outright. If they're preparing for that, then you can also down tilt if you want to be safe. If you want to be more committal, you can do something like an F smash. The offstage game is something I've been trying to push with Roy because it is something that exists, but a lot of Roys will just stay glued to stage because they're scared of doing it. But it is an option to do once you have a Fox in an offstage position. The neutral game is where this becomes more difficult because Fox's full hop is very strong. If he full hops to platform, he's pretty much safe against you. Roy does not deal with platform camping very well. If he wants to mix that up by doing a full hop drill, you can't CC that. If he wants to do like full hop and even come down with like something like an up air that will often pop you out of CC percentage, he's able to like mix up his approaches against you. You do control the ground pretty well. If he just tries to run in like shine against you or like do a bad nair, you can CC that. But his variants and like his options available to him make him very strong because he can just mix up between, okay, sometimes I will just come in nair, but sometimes going to like space the drill when you try to come in on top of me. Maybe I do want to just run and shine you, and that window to hit the down tilt from like a spaced position is so tight that the Fox will clip you and you're going to get really screwed. Something good about Roy is that he gets knocked down from shine, so a lot of times you're able to tech. If he tries to like shine gimp you, you can tech the stage and do an up B, and that up B is so active it's going to win you the position. But if he just like spaces his bear and while you're trying to get back into stage from a ledge position, a lot of the times it's going to win unless you get like a bad counter read or just like wave land onto the edge of the stage and take position. But a lot of the times he's still going to hit you, and it's going to be pretty bad. His combo game against you is really good. Once the Fox knows how to play the matchup, it becomes far more difficult than when they're first learning it. So like the longer you spend playing a Fox, the more they're going to figure out how to exploit their shield game, their platform camping game, which is strong. Something good about it is that you do have a really good combo and punish game off your grab. The tech chase is more reliable, but you do get some good stuff off of up throw into some kind of fake combos, but they're still threatening enough to where the Fox has to respect you at least a little bit more than other characters in like a lower tier echelon. So it's not that bad, but it is difficult. Stages like FD do make this matchup a lot better because they don't have the platforms to play with, and they're forced to like play in a straight up neutral game with you, which is pretty decent for Roy. Marth's good against spacies, and therefore by default Roy has to be pretty decent against spacies, even if it takes a lot longer. And they're going to be surviving against you a lot longer than they would otherwise. Zelda. This is a really annoying matchup. I do think Roy wins because his neutral game is better than hers on the ground than her air-to-air game is, but her walling game against you is so strong. It's very strong. You don't have a real approach against her, but the good news is she doesn't have an approach against you either, so it becomes this game of attrition of you just doing safe grabs when she lands, but a lot of times she'll be able to do like falling bear into double jump, or like jump immediately into bear, and that'll clip you. It's going to hit you really hard. You can take maybe like 2 kicks of stock, and then you're going to die. So that's bad. It's just a very boring matchup. I hate to say it. Like you don't have a lot of good air-to-air games like against her. If you try to down tilt jump fair, she's pretty much out. And if you try to pursue that too hard, you're going to get kicked in an air-to-air situation, and you're going to die. So it's not a good position to be in, is to be in like the air as Roy against Zelda, because if she kicks you, you're dead. If she's on the ground, she can use her her down smash to control that space that she has pretty decently with, but you can dash dance grab that, you can space it with down tilt. Your forward tilt's pretty good against her as like a walling tool. I don't do it as often as I should, but like if she jumps against that, like you're pretty safe. It's just going to take a long time. That's not going to kill her anytime soon. Just this is the one matchup where I am like looking for 4 up throw kills a game. I'm just that committed to playing the safe game, because if you try to play an aggressive game against her, she's going to punish you really hard. So that's why it's like barely winning for Roy, because he can approach, it's just difficult. So that's where he goes, or she goes. Big Link. Big Link's bad. Worse than Young Link by a pretty fair margin because of his ability to control the position he's in a scrapping scenario far better than Young Link. His down smash after he CCs you will do a lot of pop-up damage to you. His dash attack is a nasty little surprise which will pop you up. His bomb game is just as good as Young Link's, if not better. The boomerang is whatever. And you do get some pretty decent combos against him, which is nice. like you're able to actually play a game where once you hit your down tilt, you can actually hit him pretty hard. But his horizontal survivability, much like Bowser's, is good. So he'll be able to get to a position where if he's able to grapple, you can't do too much about it. You can try to challenge it, but it's a pretty big risk because he'll snap to ledge and then rising nair you or whatever he wants to do. His out of shield game is not great, so you can try to like threaten him when he's in a shielded position once you've gotten inside his zone. But you don't have anything that's going to like make him regret that decision a lot of the times. If he's behind you or you're behind him, he can do like a nair bear out. He can throw a Randy down air. He can up B, which you can punish. The up B is not the end of the world, but it is something you have to watch out for. A lot of times they will roll, and that's your cue to punish. You need to punish where they're trying to get away from you from. And you can tech chase him pretty well, which is nice. Yeah, Link's not too bad. It's still bad, but it's not like Link wins, and I'm fairly confident in that assertion. But it's one of your better low tier matchups simply because you do have somewhat of a punish game on him once you get a hit. So I'm going to put Link right there at 45-55, a slight advantage. But if you see a Link, you should be pretty happy overall. Mario's like 50-50. Mario is like Bowser. Doc hits a lot harder, which is why and the pills are more of a concern than the fireballs are. But Mario can surprise you with a jump in down air, forward air, which will beat you out of CC. His punish game once he hits you is very strong. He'll able like to chain in down forward air into up tilt. Rising up airs, up air, he'll kind of escort you off the stage and then hit you with an air, which won't kill you, but it can put you into an off-stage position where his cape is still a threat. It's not as good as Doc's, but it's very good at dealing with Roy. If you don't basically float outside of that range and try to snap to ledge, you'll get turned around and die. Even if you get on stage, he can like hit you with a pretty strong smash attack, and his forward smash spam is really good against you. If it hits you once with like a bad DI, you're going to die. You do control the neutral game, I think, slightly better than he does because you're able to space out, outside of him. Watch his approaches. He's going to try to double jump a lot, and you can shark him somewhat efficiently there. It's not great, but it's decent enough. Yeah, the down air is a thing you need to watch out for, and a lot of times they can platform cancel it to like go into falling down air into bear after they plat canceled. So that's a problem. So. All right, took a little break because my voice was getting tired, but let's go ahead and get to the second half of this. Luigi's bad. He's probably the worst of the Mario brothers. So playing against Luigi is like trying to defuse a bomb in terms of your punish game against him. When he is airborne is when he is vulnerable, and that's where you got to go and try to shark him and push him into an off-stage position where his recovery is not so great. Problem is that pretty much all of his aerials compared to your very, very crappy disjointed sword are not great. If you hit him with a tip, he's going to be able to wiggle out in air. If you hit him with a strong hit, a lot of times if he times it right or if he does even a down air or something like that, it's going to kill you. And that's really annoying is that you have to try to play this very like tight game of getting him off the ground because he's strong there, getting him into an airborne position where you can actually punish him, and then trying to very delicately space your up airs to where you're at advantage, get back to ground, maybe do a side B or safely or something like that. But his ground-to-ground game against you is very strong because he can just smash attack you, and that's going to really be bad. If he down smashes you, you're going to get another down smash, up smash, pretty much any smash he wants. He can even like forward smash you pretty efficiently. At higher percents, he can play a bit safer and do just like wave dash short, wave dash long, come in and then forward tilt you, and it's fairly safe and very hard to react to. In fact, I don't think you even can if he does if he's playing the movement game correctly. If he goes on stage against him from like edge guard position, you can wave dash on Shoryuken you, and you're going to die from that pretty much at pretty low percents if it's a grounded version. His fireball's nothing. It's not really anything you have to worry about, but when he is off stage recovering, it's one more thing you have to be aware of, and you have to try to make sure he can't get to ledge. You need to continually refresh your invincibility in a way to where you can steal ledge when he tries to do his vertical up B. Yeah, it's really tight. It's very difficult to do, but it is doable. It's probably the least bad of these 3070s, so I'm going to stick him at the back for now. He can chain grab you too on flat stages. It's hard to do, but it's possible. Yeah, basically the biggest thing is just how hard his aerials are going to hit you into an offstage situation. This is one of the matchups where I actually liberally used counter because Luigi's are so hardwired to try to aerial out of hit stun. Your hit stun's very low, so a lot of times you can do things like setting up up air into fast fall counter on the ground, and it will connect like it's a combo. It's very fun to do that. And if you get the dare will kill him incredibly early, or at the very least put him in a really bad offstage position. Where the only thing you really have to worry about when he's recovering, you actually can edge guard him pretty well, but the misfire is a factor, and if it hits you, you're going to die from that. Um, he can wave dash and CC your down tilt and then down smash you too, which is really bad. A lot of times you're needing to go for down throw or back throw, or no, it's down throw off of your throws, but then he can do his down B out as a timing mix up, which will pop you up. You can hit the first hit and do the second hit. If you're not to a position where you can CC or shield that, you're in trouble. But you do need to punish after he does that because it is unsafe. Okay, Ness. Ness is not bad at all, really. Ness, I think, is actually a pretty good matchup for Roy. He's able to shark him very well. If he's in an offstage position, he's pretty much dead. He will oftentimes try to recover into double jump fair, double jump down air, or double jump air dash wave. Ooh, sorry, air dodge through you. You can kind of time that and punish that. So I think that's not a bad part of the matchup. A lot of the times he's going to be trying to bait his like double jump dare on top of you into your crouching position, but it's pretty slow and reactable, so you can dash back away from that, dash back in and grab. Your grab combos, your throw combos, your down tilt combos, all of it is good. It's like you're gonna get a lot of mileage off of punishing Ness in the air, because you can just continually like push him towards the edge of the stage into maybe an F smash if he's holding in. The projectiles he has aren't very threatening. If you're off stage, he can do kind of an up B towards you for free, which is something to watch out for, but it's not that bad. His ability to edge guard you is not great. A lot of times they'll just take the space on stage and try to set up for a forward smash if you're getting greedy with coming on the stage in a bad way. But overall, this is a pretty good matchup. I think Ness is not bad. Let's go with Samus. Samus is a contender for the worst matchup. There's one other character I think is worse. We'll get to them in a second, but Samus is a lot of just the common man's pick for this is the worst matchup, and a lot of it really boils down to the rock paper scissors for her grounded game is so good against you. If she spot dodges against you, she can down smash. If you miss time your grab, if you miss time your down tilt there, you can't really down tilt her because she's going to down tilt you back for a combo or down smash you to get you off stage. Her CC game is so good against you, and her bombs can be very annoying if she just plays in a very passive way, waiting for an edge guard. A lot of Samuses try to overcomplicate this by trying to actually interact with Roy. In my opinion, the correct way to do this is to just stay glued to the ground as much as possible. You can't really edge guard her. It takes forever for her to get back on the stage, and you basically just have to watch her do it. You can't really do much against it. You can try to jump out with like an intercepting flare blade, but a lot of the times it's a pretty risky proposition because she can stall herself out, eventually get her grapple to ledge, and even the up B, if it clips you once, you're going to be in a losing proposition because then she can wave dash onto stage and kill you. So that's really bad. You can throw her. Your go-to thing here is grabbing a ton and holding shield liberally because her grab's pretty bad. But you don't really get much except positioning off of that interaction. Like you're just going to have to continually throw and then try to use your movement to bait her with like, oh, she did a bad dash attack and I spaced around it with a dash back, pivot F smash. And then like if she survival DIs that, that's not even killing anytime soon. Yeah, your ability to break her CC is very low. Some of the cheesier options you have, well, not cheesy. Your go-to option is grab. You can down tilt in between when she's trying to ASDI down, and that will pop her up, but it's not going to get you much. You can do your side B down 3. It has a multi-hit property, which can break her CC, but once again, you're not going to get too much off of that. It's kind of a one-trick pony of doing it once. And then finally, you have up smash as an option to break, but it's pretty slow. A lot of the times she'll be able to spot dodge through that. It's just really bad. This matchup takes forever. She hits you very hard. If she actually gets you into a pop-up situation with down tilt, dash attack, whatever she wants, it's gonna hit you pretty damn hard. and her edge guarding game against you is good. Even if she doesn't outright get the edge guard with like up tilt, she can just wave dash back, forward smash if you're trying to get through her, and you're gonna die. It's probably the worst matchup, but I have one that I think is a little worse, which we'll get to. Chic. Chic is another one where it's like, this is obviously very bad. And everybody who's like, oh, if you're just playing a Roy, then just play Chic because you have a chain grab against him. The chain grab does not work at 0. You have to, I think, get him to like 15% before it becomes a true chain grab because he can get a tech option out before that. So if you're at 0 against a Chic that's grabbing you, you're going to want to DI down and away and get a tech and hopefully get out of there. But after that, you are getting chain grabbed to like 90% into, at the very least, an edge guard situation, which is not good because her Rising Bear will clip you if she does it invincibly. So she just has to read you once there, and even if she doesn't, she can just harass you off stage with needles, and that's going to be really bad too. That's if you get hit with a needle storm, you're dead pretty much. Yeah, the neutral in this game sucks too. You can kind of convince yourself, or I would say fool yourself into thinking that this is not that bad of a matchup when you're just playing the neutral game, because she does have a hard time trying to dash around your down tilt. You control the ground very well against her if she's trying to be mobile, but she can simply wait and shield a lot of the times, and like if you get a grab, cool, you might get a tech chase and do an F smash, which is good, but she's going to be able to jump out, go to platforms, come down with like bear, space that, fair, space that, stay up on platforms and throw needles into a grab, which is really bad. She can hold ground against you very well. If you try to like down tilt her, she can down smash you, get to a winning position there, and then she pretty much is going to get a grab off of that. So the ground game's not great either. You do have some good combos against her in terms of her weight. You can do down throw F smash on bad DI, and that'll at least push her off stage. She will survive that if she's playing correctly, but it's like, at least it's something, I guess. You can do your dare meteor platform follow-ups against her and try to get to a smash attack. I actually don't mind this matchup that much. I actually like playing it, but once the Sheik knows how to play the lame game against you, look for her chain grab when it's actually viable. Avoid, if she sees that a platform is going to save you, she can wave land on there and come grab you, F tilt you. If you try to move in against her F tilt in a bad way, you're going to get popped up. It's basically like a CC game, but like she just does it better than you, and then she also can play the platforms and you can't. So for a lot of reasons it's bad, but it's not as bad as this echelon. I actually think DK might be a little worse, but no, it's probably Chic. Yeah, Chic's pretty bad. All right, let's go to Mewtwo. Mewtwo is a good matchup. The Shadow Balls, when he's just trying to harass you and just like throw them, that's as a small, non-fully charged, you can simply side B that and then go to a CC position. He's going to play like a lot of the times the same game you want to play, which is like, I'm going to down tilt. But you can CC that into a pop-up, and then you actually have a pretty good combo game once you hit him. He can get around you recovery-wise quite a lot, but you can simply, control the space, try to make him to where he can get past you. Your aerial intercepts against him are good. The Nair is a problem. Nair is very good, especially if he hits you with the last hit, so that can break up your CC. So a lot of times they'll be floating up on platform, do a very early Nair, and then get that last hit, and it's going to break you out of CC. If he grabs you, or if he down tilts you and you weren't ready for it, he's going to have a really strong punish game against you. His edge guarding game against you is good because he can go so far out off stage into a bear and then get back onto stage that it's pretty difficult to deal with. But you do control the neutral game fairly well against him. Your grabs are good against him, so overall this is not a bad matchup. Ganondorf. Ganon, I would almost put it even because I think Roy does very good in the neutral game. The problem with Ganon is that he has probably the best chain grab in the game against you. He can down throw you and you can't do anything about it. You're going to get down throwed until you get F smashed and you die. You can try to get to a platform, but a lot of times he's going to have you in a position where that's not even an option. Hey, no, sorry. My dog's wanting attention. Here, come on up. Come on up. All right, there you go. Yeah, but he's bad. He can play neutral against you very well with like tricky platform mix-ups and movement mix-ups into his grab. He can space his forward air on you, which is going to break up your CC game, trying to down tilt him. But Roy can run circles around him. Roy is fast, and you can get your grabs and you get a good punish there. And his recovery is pretty bad in a way where you can actually go out and intercept him. He's not going to get spiked and die like Marth would, but like he can get hit again into a bad position, and then you can maybe get an F smash on a bad positioned up B. But overall, it's still like it's doable. It's a very doable matchup. I would, like I said, I'm tempted to put it down here with Mario, but like Ganons that know what they're doing and just look for that grab, spacing their bears, keeping you in a walled position where you're at disadvantage, and then grabbing you and then killing you for it. That's probably what's just going to push it up just a little bit to a losing matchup. But it is a fun matchup. I like it a lot. It's another matchup where if you counter any of his stuff, it's going to kill, except maybe jab or like F tilt. But even then, that can set up for some funny invisible ceiling scenarios. So it's a fun matchup. But yeah, that grab is the reason that Ganon is going to win the matchup. Just the chain grab. It's basically that simple. Kirby. Kirby is like the winning matchup that's like kind of annoying to play against because he can hug the ground so well against you. A lot of times Kirby's will CC your down tilt you back. They'll like crouch down and just play glued to the ground and roll in on you, trying to up tilt. We'll get a couple of those. You basically just need to cover that roll in, and like you're in a pretty good winning position neutral wise. But it's trickier than you think it would be. His recovery is legitimately very bad. A lot of times he'll try to put out like aerials to protect himself, double jumping close to ledge. You can counter that. You can down tilt that, space yourself away from it. And if you can jump off and intercept him at least once with like a flare blade or a fair or something like that, he's probably dead because his aerial drift is just so bad. And he has a tough time getting away from your combo game just because of how bad that drift is. So he has to spam like air dodge or come down with a dare or something like that. But all that is pretty telegraphed. It's pretty easy to know what they're going to do. He's just not fast enough to do much against you. And his grab game is pretty bad. He's got down throw. You need to tech away for like tech roll or try to get away from that. That's probably his only legitimate grab. The rest of them are all cheese. Something that is annoying is that his swallow side, if he has a lead against you, is very difficult to deal with. A lot of times, like you'll jump in trying to hit, and you're just going to get swallowed up. If he takes you off stage, you're going to get thrown away, and then you die. So, like with a lead, this becomes much more difficult. But in the just pure neutral game, Royd is fine. So I don't think it's that bad of a matchup, just because Kirby is just by a fair margin, a worse character from just a design perspective. But Kirby's can make this matchup probably the most difficult out of the 60-40 tier. Pikachu. This matchup is better than you think it would be. I like this matchup, and I've done pretty well against a few pretty good Pikas. Roy's crouch cancel game is really strong against Pikachu. If he tries to just jump in on top of you, he can try to cross you up near and up air. The up air will pop you up, but outside of that, he's got like down smash, which is pretty easy to look out for. You tech chase him very well with forward throw, down throw mix-ups. If he tries to like DI in against you, you get a re-grab there. You can't really edge guard him, but that's okay because you can't edge guard anyone anyway, so who cares? Your smash attacks kill pretty early, and they're fairly reliable, like compared to how it would be from Marth in certain situations. I actually would prefer to be Roy against Pikachu than Marth. For instance, like he can't edge guard you, I think, as well as he can against Marth, because he can't Roy killer you, or he can't Marth killer you, that is. If he does his like get up attack thing, you can actually be slightly outside of range and actually get onto stage, so it's a pretty decent like scenario to be in. Like it's obviously still panicky, but you do fine there. If he jumps at you, you can stuff him with side B. And then like get him onto the ground where your down tilt's going to do some work. You can up smash his tech in place because his tech in place is like I think 2 frames. It's a difficult thing to deal with, but the up smash deals with it pretty well. And if you have the reading on the timing, you can either F smash or down tilt that. It's still a good spot to be in. Pikachu's going to win when he like actually plays a more platform oriented game, looking for his up air follow ups and then just continually naring you off stage. But like the general neutral game is not too bad. The Thunder Jolts are another one where you can just side B that and hold your position against them, which is pretty strong. So overall, I really like Pikachu's when I play it. I have played a few, like Anther, I think fucked me up pretty good. But I'd like to, try it again now that I've gotten a little better. But overall, it's out of all the high tiers, it's one of the matchups where I'm like, yeah, I'll play Pikachu. Pikachu's good. So that's where that is. Jigglypuff. This is a bad matchup that Roys tend to do better in than they should otherwise. If the Puff tries to fight you and like actually like interact, really scrap with you, this matchup can go down to here. If they play it correctly and they realize that they do not have to approach and they can continually just camp platforms, stay in the air, they're not going to get up bead for the reverse hit in the air-to-air scenario. So Roy has to make these really bad commitments trying to go get them. But let's talk about it like it's down here. What's good about this matchup is, yes, you do have an insta-kill off your up B on bad DI if you get them on Yoshi's and Stadium. Sometimes works on FD, but it's a lot of the time, or like after a down tilt, but a lot of times they can fare out of that. If you're into like a ground game, she can like try to throw out like F smash in positions, but you can dash away, come back in and grab, and actually get like a couple of fair strings in. But what really makes this matchup garbage is that they realize they just don't have to do that. They can play to win, and once they do that, this becomes really bad. They just stay up in the air. They can come down with like safe down air edge cancels it, space their bear, and kind of just poke at you until they have the lead, and then force you to play a pursuit game where you're not going to have anything. I don't know where I'd put it right up here. I'd say like right here, because if you do have the lead, you can force her to approach, but like once she gets it, like you're kind of boned. But yeah, I for whatever reason, Roy's seemed to do pretty good against Puff because their neutral game can be pretty Marth-esque. That's pretty solid against Puff when she does finally land. But yeah, once they figure out what they need to do to win, it's a very bad losing proposition. Marth is terrible. I hate this matchup. Marth is really bad. He doesn't have a chain grab, but what he does have is a really big ass sword compared to your butter knife. So if he plays in a way where he's spacing his fair and then holding into shield afterwards, you have to try to like make a read and move in on his giant range to try to grab him and hopefully throw combo him into a position where it's not as bad as Puff. Where you do get some openings off of like falling fair onto plat into F smash. He can't really wiggle out fair against that, but a lot of the times if you try to over pursue against him, he can just wiggle out fair, and that tipper hit's going to pop you up in a way where he's going to get up air and all these combos that are brain dead easy. And I know they're brain dead easy because I played Marth for like 10 years. So it's a bad scene, man. If he has you in the corner, trying to get past him is damn near impossible. He can wave dash back down tilt. If you try to take the grounded approach, he can ferry you. If you try to get over him on platforms, if you try to nair in on him, he can just throw out an F smash or something, and it's going to like kill you. Something so bad about this matchup too is his counter. If you're in an offstage scenario as Roy, and you're playing Marth, just walk up to the ledge and counter. Like, it's going to last a really long time. So if he doesn't have his double jump, he's going to have to be, if the counter hits you and you're not able to get some really good DI into a stage tech, you're dead. You're just dead. It's like insane how good counter is against Roy's recovery. Even if he doesn't do that, he can space down tilt at the ledge if he wants to play it safe. Maybe he thinks he can't get there in time. He can F smash you. If you don't sweet spot, you got to try to tech that. The punish game is so incredibly easy if he gets a grab. He up throws you and you're getting 2 up tilts pretty much for free. If you're not DIing correctly after that, he's going to get into like a fair string into an F smash or something like that, or combo you off into a king combo. This matchup sucks. It's really bad because it's like you're trying to get inside of his range with your pitiful range into like, ideally what you want is for him to do a bad aerial or down tilt on you, and you can CC that and you get a clean punish into like a nair or something like that. But like, if he's spacing correctly, if he's grabbing correctly, if he's holding ground, waiting for you to commit onto him, CC grab, you're just going to die. And even if you don't die, you're going to get put into the corner, which is pretty much death. It's another matchup where I'm having to use counter a lot too, just because like I've got to do something when he's doing these aerial spams outside of disadvantage, and they're not often going to kill him, and a lot of times he'll just like drop down and do whatever he wants. He can play the exact same neutral game of like dashbacks as you can, so a lot of times you're going to try to punish a spot that he was at. He's no longer there. He's now away from you. He dashbacks and grab. He dashbacks in forward air. Marth sucks. Marth is a really bad matchup. All right, get down, buddy. Down. My dog wanted to be a part of this. Game and Watch. A lot of Roys think this is a really good matchup, and I tend to disagree. I actually think Game & Watch does fine. I don't think it's a bad matchup. I think it's like 50-50, maybe right here, because you can up B him pretty easily. Down tilt up B will just kill him on a lot of stages because he's so light. But his ability to space pretty decent aerials against you is rough. You have to try to get around that, wait for the second hit off of his down air, and like kind of punish that. do I want to put it in a winning matchup situation? Maybe it's just that I suck at this matchup. I really try to fight Game & Watch in an honest way more than I should. When a lot of the times Roy should just be looking for cheese, like trying to get that grab into a tech chase. His techs are very bad, so it's easy to kind of like to go and pursue that once he's in a tech scenario, and then your F smash will kill him at a pretty low percent. But if the Game & Watch knows what he's doing, he's a good Game & Watch, he's playing safe, he can use his aerials to really like space himself around you. He can edge guard decently with his like jump in suicide or like YOLO fair, jump off nair. All those aerials are going to hit you very hard. He can even use like the key in a way where he's going to like contest the ledge in a pretty safe way when you're trying to sweet spot. But you do have a lot off of grabs. You do have a lot off of down tilts. It can be a very fun matchup for both parties if they're just playing to have a good time. But in a competitive scenario, I'm not exactly excited to see Game & Watch because his aerials are just so good. His offense is very good. It's where when he's on the defensive foot is where Roy actually does pretty well, in my opinion. I'm tempted. It's a really close, but for just to be a little different, I'm going to say it's an even matchup. Falco is probably about here. In theory, he's better than Fox, right? Because you can edge guard him. You can kill him when he's off stage fairly consistently. Drop down side B. If he's firefoxing and you're doing a drop down side B, you have pretty much a dead Falco. At the very least, you should be able to be back to stage and then get another hit. The neutral game though is rough. Like Falco lasers you. You got to have some good laser counterplay and mixing up your options against that. Unless they're just consistently like getting power shielded over and over, they're not knowing what to do against that. But the problem against Falco is that a lot of times you're wanting to play a game where you're doing CC against an aerial and then retaliating with grab or down tilt, and Falco doesn't have to play that game. He can laser you safely and then come in with a down air. If he down airs on top of your crouch position, you're going to get comboed, and he combos the hell out of you. So it's not a great position to be in. So yeah, I don't like Falco too much. It's probably my worst matchup relative to how bad a matchup it actually is for Roy as a character, because you can grab him over and over. You do have a good punish game off your grab, but yeah, his ability to like continually go to the platforms and come down in a way that's surprising and variant. He can come down with laser and then check you there and then come into an air or down air. His up tilt game is good against you if you try to get in on that a bad way. If he gets into a position below you, he can just kind of up tilt you. He can also hold down against you very strongly if he realizes that he can do that. Just like try to retaliate with his own down tilt or shine. Every time you get CC shine, like he's going to be spamming that constantly, and as he should. So that makes it pretty difficult from the neutral perspective. I don't think it's as bad as Fox when both, like if these two were equal in skill, Falco is slightly less bad than Fox, but a lot of times even bad Falcos can make the matchup feel like, oh man, this sucks. So yeah, Falco goes there. So we're down to 2 characters left. We'll go with the worst. Yoshi is bad. In my opinion, if Yoshi it's a competent Yoshi, they're playing well, they're not just still stuck in the mess up their tech skill and die stage, Yoshi's probably Roy's worst matchup. What you have against these 2 characters in comparison is that you still have grab. You can throw and then AMAT can wiggle out, but you can still throw for position and like maybe get something out of it. Yoshi, you really don't. You grab him, you throw him, and then he comes down and like nairs you. And double jumps, armors through you. All of your hits do not really break his armor at all, except for like up smash and up B, and those are both cheese. And I think that's why the matchup is so bad, is that when your primary directive is to try to cheese, that's not a good matchup. And Yoshi is really not. He can hold shield and just like, you can grab him and try to tech chase him, get some down tilt into like down air platform meteor hits, but nothing's guaranteed. And he's just going to run those platforms all day, come down with a juicy meteor fair, and pop you up, and then do all the combos that he's been doing to Fox at 1/10 of the risk. So it's super bad. He can also down tilt you if you try to down tilt him, and that will get you into a setback knock scenario where you're like off stage and you're going to die. The eggs are not the end of the world, I guess, is something positive about the matchup, because you can side B those, but they're still a threat, and especially if he's throwing them at ledge, you're going to have to try to go and contest that, and you don't do very well at contesting it. He can also just parry like crazy if he's good enough at it, if he's like anticipating your hits. And he's also not going to die anytime soon because he continually will just go high against you. Your weak aerials probably aren't going to lead into anything, and a lot of times he's just going to nair you after you try to like fair him or something. So yeah, Yoshi, in my opinion, is really bad. This could be like this or even this, depending on which Roy you ask. I'm sure other Roys would have different opinions about it. Stop it, buddy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is, in my opinion, it's Yoshi. Yoshi's the worst, just because you don't have anything that's real. And in contrast, this is, I think, Roy's best matchup, Pichu. If there was one character that I would rather be Roy than Marth, it's Pichu, and that's such a funny, nonsensical thing, because why would anybody ever go Pichu seriously? But even playing against a few really good Pichus, and obviously it's hard to tell who's our main of Pichu or secondary or who's treating him so seriously. But you have a lot of good stuff against him. Your smash attacks kill him at an absurdly low percentage. You can't really edge guard him very well, but that doesn't really matter because your smash attacks will kill early. Your side B is going to kill early. You can down tilt into up B insta kill on pretty much every stage but Dreamland, and it's damn near a confirmed combo. Like they're going to have to try to wiggle out really hard to avoid that. And even if you can't get that, you can get to a juggle state into death, which is good. Yeah, it's. I really don't have too much to say. I haven't played enough Pichus to where I'm really hyper confident in this. Like if it's a good Pichu, it could probably move up to here. But just on a eyeball test of like, man, this feels really easy. Pichu definitely takes the cake as I think Roy's best matchup. And yeah, I'm pretty confident in that assertion as of now. But I'd like to play some good Pichus in the future. So this is my matchup chart. I think I'm pretty happy with this one. I've changed it a few times going forward. Certain characters have gone up or down, but this seems about right. Overall, Roy, not a great character. Doesn't have a lot to work with, but he does have a good enough neutral game. He is fast. He does have an absurdly good down tilt, and that's able to carry him to at the very least, doable matchups against a lot of the cast. And it's just the more you play against somebody, the more they understand Roy counterplay, and then it becomes very difficult. But for now, I'm happy with this. And I hope you enjoyed if you watched all the way through. And yeah, I hope you have a great day.